श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्।
सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नामरूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धेर्दृग्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्त ब्रह्मपरं महः वेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यत् इति मे निश्चिता मतिः। After having finished the analysis of Mangalacharana, we started with Anubandha Chatushtaya of this Grantha. Anubandha Chatushtaya is Adhikari, Vishaya, Sambandha, Prayojana. In that, Vishaya and Prayojana are the main important parts, and according to that, Adhikari and Sambandha is analyzed. Now, who is Adhikari for this particular inquiry, for this particular text that is being discussed, and why Adhikara is required? So, Adhikari, who is Adhikari? Adhikari is the one who is Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna. Why do you need Adhikara? The analysis was given inborn by birth and causelessly without any particular reason. There are three defects in each individual. They were Mala, Vikshepa and Avarana. Collectively, they can be understood as Ajnana or Avidya. Same Avidya is being expressed here in these three different forms. What is Mala? Mala, as we understood, Malam Nama Papam. Mala in general is Papa. But what is the effect of that Papa? I don't see a thing or no certain thing the way it is. I don't see a particular thing or no certain thing the way it is. That is the effect of Mala. And Vikshepa is the Chanchalata, the fickleness of mind. It cannot concentrate. And what is the effect of fickleness of mind? Fickleness of mind causes seeing a thing not the way it is, seeing it in a wrong way. So superimposing something which I know, that is caused by Vikshepa. Avarana is in general covering which does not allow us to see anything, know something at all. Now, because of all these three defects, even though I may have, as it was analyzed, Viveka, etc., it will not grow. Even though the text, even though the knowledge is in front of me, source of knowledge is in front of me, I will not know that particular thing or an object. For example, a person with cataract, even though he has eyes, because they are defective, he will not see the thing which is in front of him the way it is. Having understood this, we progressed with the analysis of Viveka. What is Viveka? Viveka is Atma, is Chinmatraha, Chaitanya, Nitya, it is eternal, pure consciousness principle, It is not subject to any change or death or destruction. It does not undergo any activity. It does not act. And furthermore, Anatma is exactly opposite of that. Everything that is perceived through these sense organs, Pancha Jnanendriya and Antahkarana, everything that is perceived by these is Anatma, not non-self, if we are to say, not me, and it is subject to destruction. But just having this discrimination, the separation, is not enough. Then what do we need? What is required? What is required is Chitta Shuddhi. And the example was given. There are many people who have this Viveka, who teach what is Atma, Anatma, Viveka, etc. But Vairagya in them is not born. Why do they lack Vairagya? Because they lack Chitta Shuddhi. And thus we analyze, okay, to gain Vairagya, we need to have Viveka with Chitta Shuddhi. But why do we need Viveka first? Why Viveka first and then all the three later? It was said, Viveka is the, just give me a second. Yeah. Uttaresham Trayanam Sadhananam Ayam Hetu. Viveka is the cause for all the other three. Uttaresham Trayanam. What are other three? Vairagya, Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, and Mumukshuta. Viveka is the cause. It is the very much reason because of which Vairagya, etc. are born. And without this reason, this particular cause, Naimittika effect are not seen. Nimitta abhave naimittika abhavat avashyameva adau vivekaha sampadaniya. Therefore, certainly, viveka should be acquired in the beginning before itself. Can you please explain how it is so? Okay. To separate two things, we need to have viveka. That is understood. But then we need to discard and throw away thing which is not intended to be, which is not required. Otherwise, Viveka will not be successful. I know. What do you know? If I want to eat a banana, I have to remove its skin and eat the banana. But if I separate the skin and I start eating the skin and throwing out the core part, it's foolishness. For that, Vairagya is required. That is the Vairagya, idea of Vairagya. Now, what is Vairagya? Let's see. Vairagyam. Vairagyam dosha drishtya. Dosha drishtya abrahmalokat विपरिवर्तमानेषु भोगेषु अनादर रूपा उपेक्षा एव वैराग्यम इति उच्यते ब्रह्म पारगैः. What is vairagya? Vairagya is dosha drishtya, with the idea of defects. Dosha. Abrahmalokat viparivartamaneshu. Abrahmalokat. From this world to the Brahmaloka, in all the higher worlds. Anadara Rupa Upeksha, whatever the bhoga, whatever the enjoyments are available in all those worlds, for those enjoyments, sense pleasures, Anadara Rupa, na adara, anadara. Not having the effect. Upeksha. Viveka should be gained, should be acquired. Then what is Vairagya? He started with the analysis of Vairagya. Vairagya is dosha drushti, having the idea of defect in what? In everything that can be acquired, achieved in all the above lokas. Full Brahma Loka. And what is this dosha drushti? Dosha drushti is all these defects are going to end, are subject to destruction. Why? Because they are anatma and therefore having upeksha, tyajya buddhi, having the idea of discarding them is called as vairagyam uchyate brahma paragaihi. By the knowers of Brahman, this is known as vairagya. Okay. Am I audible? Right, yeah, okay. Yeah. Now, this Vairagya has been further analyzed. So, not having the, what do we say, desire to experience them is in general Vairagya. Vairagya is in general of two types. One is Smashana Vairagya and one is Uchita Vairagya, Uttama Vairagya. So, Smashana Vairagya is temporary. It just comes and goes away. But then there is Viveka Janita Vairagya, Vairagya born out of Viveka and thorough Viveka, not just superficial Viveka. This Viveka is of two types. One is Apara and other one is Para. In Ashtanga Yoga by Yoga Darshanakara, it has been described in this way. Aparam and Param. What is Aparam and what is Param? So Aparam is a lower kind of Vairagya and Param is the higher. Now, rather than considering it lower and higher, it is less intense and more intense. That Apara Vairagya has further been classified into four types. One is Yatamana, Vyatireka, Ekendriya and Vashikara, increasing in gradation. Yatamana, Vyatireka, Ekendriya and Vashikara. What is Yatamana? Yataman is putting forth effort. Yatna. Koshish chalu hai. I am trying to put forth effort. And how is it? Asmin Jagati, it is not here, but the definition has been, or explanation has been given. Asmin Jagati, kim saram, kim asaram, iti. Guru Shastrabhyam Nyasyami iti Udyogaha Yataman. I'm trying to know what I should gain, what I should achieve, and what I should give up. I want to know what I should achieve, what I should keep, and what I should give up. From whom? From Shastra and from a competent Guru. And knowing and starting to act upon it is called as Yatamana Vairagya. I have just started putting forth efforts. There may be a long way to go, but beginning, I have started. Then, like next one is Vyatireka. Vyatireka is Swachitte Purvam Vidyamananam Doshanam Madhye Abhyasyamaneena Vivekena Etavantaha Pakvaha Etavantaha Avashishtaha Iti Vivechanam Vyatireka. So, analyzing, okay, I had these many defects, these many desires in me. Now, while I am trying to give those up, these have been left out and these I have conquered. So, analysis of this is Vyatireka Vairagya. separating out the defects which were present earlier and which I have conquered, and now which are to be conquered. That is Vyatireka. Then comes Ekendriya Vairagya. What is Ekendriya Vairagya? Ekendriya Vairagya is दृष्टानुश्रविक विषय प्रवृत्तेः दुःखात्मत्वबोधेन तां प्रवृत्तिं परित्यज्य मनसश्च औत्सुक्यमात्रेण वितृष्णावस्थानम् एकेन्द्रियत्वम्. Now I have conquered almost all the desires. Now my indriyas don't desire those particular objects. I have conquered my senses, so my senses don't desire those particular objects, but the idea of happiness, sukha, in those particular vishaya, those particular sense object has been left out. There is still this lingering idea, sense, that it is going to give me happiness. So it is not complete. So this is a thirstless stage, but in a process. If we are to compare this in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan has explained how he says, Vishya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya parandrishtva nivartate. So Vishya vinivartante, it does not desire those objects. The idea of rasa, they might have something, some rasa in that has been left out. It is still there. That is this one. But for this person, for whom, for the one who is Jnani, the one who has Param Vairagya, he will have all the desires, and the thirst, the idea of Sukha will also have been gone away. This was Ekendriya. And then comes Vashikara. Vashikara, Vitrushnatvam, Vashikaraha. Vitrushnatvam, complete non-attachment. Complete non-attachment is named as the stage of subjugation. I am not attached to them at all. And this has been defined in Yoga Sutra as Param Purushakhyatehe Gunavaitrishnyam. Now, after this Vaitrishnya, Vashikaratva, what comes is Param Vairagyam. What is Param Vairagyam? That extreme non-attachment which is born once the knowledge takes place. How can you say so? How is it so? Let us analyze. The earlier example of the plantain covering it, and so banana and its peel. I have peeled banana, but what am I supposed to eat? Only when I have eaten its core part, the fleshy part, then alone I will know the tasty part is not its skin, but the flesh. Unless I have eaten its flesh, I will not have that doubtless conviction that flesh alone is which is to be achieved, taken, eaten, and not the skin. Earlier, I may have, because somebody has exposed to me, somebody has explained to me, with all that knowledge, I may have this conviction, okay, I should not eat skin, but I should eat its flesh. But only when I have eaten that flesh, personally, then that non-attachment for eating that skin, the flesh of that banana, the fleshy part of banana, then that non-attachment for that skin will be there. That is param vairagyam. Similarly, when I have experienced myself, so when I have aparoksha jnana, with that aparoksha jnana, the vairagya which is born is param vairagyam. This param vairagyam again has been classified, but we will not go into that classification because it is again just subparts, etc. That is param vairagyam. Now, why do we need vairagya? And why do we don't have vairagya? Let us analyze. As we have analyzed earlier, vairagya is required to give up that which is not essential, not necessary, or even further, which is not real. To give up which is not real, vairagya is required. Vairagya is the strength of mind which allows us to give up that which I don't need. Vairagya is the strength of mind that allows us, that makes me capable to give up that thing which I don't need at all. Okay, having analyzed this, let us understand why do I don't have Vairagya? I have known for years what Vairagya is, why is it needed, etc. But why do I not have Vairagya? I have come across very two beautiful stories that will give us the psychological analysis. Why do we not have Vairagya? Okay, first thing, I have two bundles of currency notes. One is of 20 rupee notes, and the bundle is this much big, having 100 notes. One is the bundle of 20 rupee notes having 100 notes. It has been rolled up, so the roll is this big. Then I have another one which is of 2000 rupee notes, but it has 10 notes only, and it has been rolled up. But because it has 10 rolls, the bundle is not big, it is smaller. And now I place these two bundles in front of two different people, say a small child and in front of you. What is that small child is going to pick up? Of course, he's going to pick up the bigger bundle because he does not know the difference between 20 into 100 and 2000 into 10. He does not know the value of those two things. He will see that bigger bundle must be having more value. So that bigger bundle has more value, that's his idea, but we know what the reality is, and knowing that reality, what we do? We pick up the smaller bundle. Even though it appears small, it has higher value. Similarly, we analyze, but we don't have that Vishwasa Shraddha, that Brahman alone is real. When we come back to Mala Vikshepa, this is the thing. We are not convinced, okay, by knowing Brahman, I am going to be eternally happy. Because there is Vishayas which are in front of me, they give me happiness right now at this moment. Then why should I give those up? and it is experiential. I can see it right now. It is easily available, easily verifiable. I cannot verify the happiness gained by going into Swarga, etc. Swarga again is not pratyaksha. Swarga is all the time anushravika. Because it has been told in Shastra, I believe it to be so. Nobody has gone to Swarga and come back alive and explained this, this is how the Swarga is. So we are like that small child who picks up the bigger bundle which has lesser value. That's why we lack vairagya. So we need to have that firm conviction. Okay, the bundle may be bigger, but the value is way less. Okay, but having analyzed this, having understood this, I still have one thing to achieve and conquer. What is it? For that, there is another beautiful example. So one friend, let's, for our convenience, let's name them Ram and Sham. Easy. Because Yajnadatta and Devadatta, these are old-fashioned names. So Ram and Sham. Now, these two friends these two were childhood friends, and after a long time, after lockdown, Ram went to meet Sham. Now, Sham is a merchant, well established, and he sells those golden silk threads, which are used for making borders for beautiful garments. Now they are talking, and then Sham shows to Ram, see these new bundles which have come. Those silk, golden silk thread, golden and silk woven together. These threads, these are very expensive. Now, to get some refreshment, Sham goes inside, and now Ram has this desire to pick one ball up. He thinks that I should have this one ball, and unknowingly he picks up one ball and puts under his arm. By the time he has put under his arm that by the time he has put that ball under his arm, that his friend Sham comes out with refreshments. Sham sees, okay, one ball is missing, and he understands what has happened. Then he says, you know, during this lockdown period, I completed 50 years of my life. So we had celebration, but we had this at home itself. We did not uh, invite many people. But now that you have come, I have a gift which I had reserved for you. So Sham again goes back in and brings out a 100-gram pure gold coin, 20 karat gold coin. And he says, this one is for you. Take this, and with both hands, he puts that gold coin in front of his friend. Now the problem with Ram is, Ram knows the value of that 100-gram gold coin is higher. When he is going to spread his both arms in front of his friend, the golden ball which has under his arm is going to fall down, and his lie is going to come out. His lie is going to get opened up. Similarly, we are afraid of our own lie and our own fault. For these years together, the world which I perceived to be true, not to accept that as not real and go further is difficult for us. Why? Now we are afraid of two things: giving up what I believe and what is very much evident for me right now. And the other thing is, I am afraid to accept my own fault and lies. If we can conquer this, we will be able to progress further on the path of Vairagya. So, to have that Vairagya, we should have that strength, balam, to give up what is not necessary. Furthermore, I would like to say that for the earlier people, as in the say 500,000 years back, for them it was never Vairagya was easier. But for us, the idea of Vairagya has been mellowed down very much. Do you know why? I like to analyze myself. I like to tell this thing myself. Why? How many of us desire to go to even Swarga? Have you ever desired that I want to go to Swarga or Brahmaloka? Until we take to study of Vedanta, we are not even aware of that. In earlier yugas, people used to do yajna yagadika karma. Why? So that they can go to higher worlds. And while doing that, they used to avoid doing nishiddha karma. Now, because we don't even desire going to Swargadika Loka, we have included nishiddha karma in our day-to-day life. And because of all this confusion, our mind has become impure. So mala and vikshepa has increased. So to remove that mala and vikshepa, as author had said earlier, nishkama karma yoga and upasana is required. And with that removal of mala, vikshepa, etc., because of viveka, vairagya will be born, vairagya will arise. Then is that vairagya enough? No. Yeah, it is a necessary, it is an important part, but that is not enough. Then what do you need further? It is said, Shamadhi Shatkam Nama, Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti. What is Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti? Shama, Dama, Shraddha, Samadhana, Uparati, Titikshaha. Shatka group of 6, starting from Shama. It is Shama, Dama, Shraddha, Samadhana, Uparati, Titiksha. What is Shama? Shamaha nama Prachina Vishaya Vasana Tyaga Purvakam Vishayebhyaha Manasaha Pratinivartanam. Shamaha nama. What is Shama? Shama is Prachina Vishaya Vasana Tyaga Purvakam. Prachina. Prachina, age old, from many births, which has come to me, which has followed me. Vishaya Vasana. Vasana, desire to experience sense object. Giving up that vasana, giving up that desire, and how giving up that desire? Vishayabhyaha manasaha pratinivartana. Pulling back my mind, taking away my mind from its sense objects. That is Shama. So not allowing mind to go to experience sense objects is Shama. What is Dhamma? Dhammaha nama. We will just see the definitions now. The combined analysis has been done by author of this text together. Why that we will see. Dhammaha nama. Similarly, Vishayabhyaha Bahyendriyanam Pratinivartanam. Not allowing senses to go to its sense objects is Dhamma. Not allowing senses to go towards their sense objects is Dhamma. What is Shraddha? Shraddha nama Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Dridhatara Vishwasaha Astikyam. Shraddha is Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu. Guru Vakyeshu, Vedanta Vakyeshu. Whatever that has been taught by Guru and Vedanta by Upanishads, Brahma Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, etc. By these, Drudhatara Vishwasaha, a firm conviction with reverence, firm conviction with reverence, and astikyam, satyatva buddhi, that it is truth, is Shraddha. Shraddha cannot be translated as faith. Shraddha cannot be translated as faith. The reason being, faith, the dictionary meaning, if you see, the dictionary meaning for faith is higher degree of trust and confidence. So that is Vishwasa, just Vishwasa, the trust, a strong belief. But when you add reverence to that trust, it becomes Shraddha, Adara. That is Shraddha. How do you say so? Okay. Shraddha is not something foreign. We do have Shraddha from birth, but we give that up. A child has that Shraddha in his parents. If we are to analyze a little bit more, the difference will be, it is not exactly the way it is, but for the sake of understanding. Vishwasa is more at intellectual level and verifiable. How do you say so? I have trust, I have faith in particular company or a particular organization. Why? A particular person. Why? Because with so many years with him, for so many years together, I have analyzed and I know with that I am going to gain these particular results. That is Vishwasa. That is faith. But Shraddha is, I have Vishwasa, but I have reverence. So when an unexpected thing is experienced, I still have that trust. Because of that adara, that trust never goes away. Let us have this example of eyes. We know these optical illusions, right? Now I have Vishwasa in my eyes. Why? Because eyes allow me to see the object in front of me. Okay. Now when I'm seeing an optical illusion, I start doubting what is real and what is not real. But now here, the object which is in front of me is not really there. The way it is appearing, it is not there. Right? Then what should I do? I still trust my mind, still trust my eyes and analyze. Okay, eyes are pramana for seeing. I know that this way I am seeing it is not there, but eyes alone are pramana for seeing. And why am I seeing that object in that particular way will be analyzed by intellect later. So even though thing which is seen by eyes right now is not in the grasp of my or purview of my intellect, I still have that belief because I have that reverence, adara towards my eyes as an instrument for seeing the object in front of me. I have that reverence and that adara towards my eyes for seeing the object in front of me. I know the object which is in front of me is not the way it appears, and why it is not appearing so, or what is the illusion, will be analyzed by intellect later. But right now, I have Shraddha in my eyes. That Vishwasa, that trust does not go away. Similarly, when I have that Shraddha in Guru and Vedanta Vakya, I have taken them as my pramana, jnana sadhana, means of knowledge. And having taken them as means of knowledge, I have firm conviction. Okay, right now, whatever they are explaining may not be true for me. I may not have Vishwasa. It may be out of my grasp. It may appear something which is extraordinary, not real, but still it is true. Why? Because of that Shraddha. Trust can be broken, but Shraddha will never go away. And that Shraddha is required. That is the difference between Shraddha and Vishwasa. And Shraddha again gives rise to Vishwasa. Actually, it is Shraddha which gives rise to Vishwasa. How can you say so? Okay. You are to travel to say US. You are going to travel to US and you are going to go by particular airline with flight of particular airline company. Now, which airline company will you choose? The airline company which was chosen by your friend or a relative, and he has told you that I have good experience with this particular airline company. Then you go through reviews, you have Shraddha in those reviews, and with those Shraddha, you travel with that particular company, and when you experience that, that Shraddha has the base of Vishwasa at transactional level. So that is the difference between Shraddha and Vishwasa. So Vishwasa with reverence is Shraddha. And that reverence is required to go further in this analysis and inquiry. What is Samadhana? Samadhanam nama Lakshya Brahmani Chitta Ekagram. The single pointedness of mind in Lakshya, Dhyaya, the object of concentration here as Brahman. Not thinking of anything else is Samadhana. Uparati and Titiksha we will analyze next time, and how all these are interlinked, that analysis will also be taken, but that we will see next time. Om Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya samastaloka sukhino bhavantu samastaloka sukhino bhavantu samastaloka sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.